Shalom, my people. Shalom. Shalom, my people. Hey, today's message is called try. Try. We tried our way. Now let's try Yahawshi way. We done tried with violence. That didn't work. Non-violence. That didn't work. Cultural pride. Black pride. That didn't work. Militant. That didn't work. Marching. That didn't work. Protesting. That didn't work. Segregation. That didn't work. Integration. That didn't work. Christianity. That didn't work. We have tried all them things, and none of them seems to work. So now let's try Yahawshi. Christianity don't work for us. They taught us Christianity, so that's never going to work for us. We have to go back to the Bible where law, statute, commandments. That's the only way we're going to get out of this here. I'm going through two scriptures. I'm going to show you where we tried all these different things. We tried violence. Let me go to where we tried violence. We tried violence. One of the earliest, most successful revolt came in Israelite living on the island of Haiti. Haiti, which is the tribe of Levi, which is where Benjamin come from. Which is where Paul come from, which is where Moses come from, which is where Aaron come from. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. This is where Aaron and Moses came from. They came from the tribe of Levi. Paul was a Benjamin. He was from West India. I'm sorry. But Moses and Aaron were Levite. So if you call them, if you today, by you not knowing their nationality, you would say they were from Haiti. See, we tried violence. When that was? That was in 1791, August 21st, 1791. Chusay Overture. He was an enslaved Hebrew Israelite. He was a Levite. He the one that gave the law. They want people to be like over the church that give the law. But they went off and started worshiping all the voodoo type stuff that's in Haiti now. They started worshiping that. So God punished them. So that's why they're going through what they're going through now with all the atrocities that's happened over there, back to back to back, because they are the main one. They are from the stock of Moses and Aaron, which gave the law. And they supposed to have been over the tabernacle. They the one went in and set the church up, got everything ready, got everything prepared for Moses to come in and preach. That was their job. But they couldn't even do that job right. So we tried violence. So we tried the overthrow of France. And we beat Spain. We beat a lot of them countries around up in the island. We destroyed them. Check this out. 90,000 or the 500,000 Israelites died. 24,000 or the 40,000 Europeans died. They were killed during that time. That was the violence part that we tried. It lasted for a while, but guess what? They went right back to doing the things that God told them not to do. See, we tried everything. We tried force. That didn't work. Because guess what? They left what God had told them to do. What their main purpose was, they left that. That was the violence part that we tried. That was in Haiti. We tried violence. That didn't work. Now look at Haiti right now today. War is one of the richest countries in the world. Now it's one of the poorest. The Most High don't play. Yeah, he'll let you get a little victory here and there. But if you don't follow this word, it ain't going to work out, baby. It ain't going to work out for you. It don't never do. We done tried violence, so we see that didn't work. We tried non-violence. We had another, before I get to non-violence, we had Nat Turner. Nat Turner found out that he was an Israelite, but he read the Bible. He read the Bible for himself. See, they were surprised that a Negro could read like that. That was in 1822, down there in Hampton, Virginia, down there, where they do all that. That was slavery, one of the biggest things. That slavery. They had that where you could dock out there and they sell the slaves off the dock. That's where your boy wrote that book, the Willie Lynch story, on the banks of the James River. So your boy was up there, Nat Turner. Nat Turner went over there and he started a war. He had 50 men. They killed him all. They took him. Once they killed him, they sliced his body up and buried him in different places. They cut him up and buried him all in different places. So we tried violence, but guess what? We left God's word again. So we left God's word again. We said, okay, let me try something else. Let me try some nonviolence. So what you do? You tried nonviolence. You went to Martin Luther King. You went to Martin Luther King for nonviolence. That didn't work. They killed him. See, you got to read the Bible because to find out they won't never let you see that clip when he said he realized he led his people to a burning building because he knew that once he went to talking to Malcolm, he found out that he was doing wrong. We didn't supposed to be segregated. We didn't supposed to be segregated with them. We didn't supposed to be holding their hands, going to church, little brown boy, little white girl holding hands. That was never meant to be. The Bible had nothing. The Bible don't say that. Nowhere in the Bible you can find what God told to hold their hand. God told to separate from them. We don't put to marry them. We don't put to intertwine with them because every time we do, we fail. They're gonna prove to you that they over you. Because guess what? They're gonna kill your leader. Everybody who you thought was your leader, they killed them. And guess what? The FBI was tracking Martin Luther King and Malcolm X the whole time. That's why they set people in there to start the rift. And they don't never use their own people to do the killing. They use us to do the killing of our own people. So with Martin Luther King, that was nonviolence. That didn't work. With Malcolm X, you had militant. That didn't work. They separated them the two because guess what? God gonna show you that I'm gonna give you these people, but I'm gonna show you their downfall because it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna happen. So you can learn from them to try to go back to the Bible. We're not doing that because we don't have no leaders to teach us the Bible. We don't have violence. We don't have non-violence with Martin Luther King. You have violence with Nat Turner, overture of Haiti. We don't have violence. We don't went to peace now. We had peace with Martin Luther King. That didn't work. They killed him. And you had Malcolm X. He had great philosophy. It ain't gonna work. It never works. History has taught us without God, it ain't gonna work. And see, and you got to know who God is. See, you think that God is the God that you serve their God, not our God, not Yahawshi. Once he get involved in it, then it'll work. But as long as you worshiping a blue eye, long hair man that's red, when the Bible clearly says he was as polished brass as had been burnt in the furnace. He had woolly hair that was gray. His hair and his face it was woolly hair. Who got woolly hair? Who got that kind of skin tone? Who got red eyes? They got this Jesus with blue eyes, with stringy hair, with red face. He's not white. White is this here. He's red. He's a derivative of pink. Like you are not black. You are different shades of brown. See, but they won't teach you that. So we done tried all that. We tried the militant. We tried the march with Martin Luther King. Guess what else we tried? We tried Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey came with there with what he had? Cultural pride. He had cultural pride. Teach you how to be a man, how to stand up. But guess what? They had this philosophy behind their stuff. None of them had the true God behind them. All of them had their own philosophy. They thought they was fighting because the only one I think had philosophy was Nat Turner. But Nat Turner was not going to be the guy that was going to save you. No man shall save you. Because Nat Turner read the Bible and realized that he was an Israelite. But it wasn't time for him to do what he had to do. God says it's a time and a place for everything. Yes, they were frustrated, they were trying to think, but God gonna come back and destroy the earth. I got two scriptures, and I'm gonna show you what God said. He gonna come back himself. We got the power to want to do, but it's not time yet. God said not time because we don't have the capability to stop these people. We don't have no weapons, no computerized system up in space, no satellites, no Wi-Fi that we can talk to each other with. We own none of that. You got a few pop guns and think you can go out there and fight these people who God said, I would give Esau the fat of the land. The fat of the land is with a sword, guns, missiles, space satellite, spaceships, diseases, rockets, nuclear bombs, intelligence, FBI intelligence, hacking your phone. We have none of that. So how in the world you gonna fight somebody with that? They got drones that can come in your house and shoot you down. You have none of that. They control all the diseases they put up on the earth. We have none of that. So much as you want to go out there and try to fight them, it's not time. The Most High got to come back and destroy them, not us. So we done tried all that. Guess what we tried? We done tried protesting. Black Lives Matter. We done tried that. That didn't work. We had Muhammad Ali come through. That didn't work. He was caught up in there with Malcolm X. They made this man to decide between him and Malcolm X. I just seen the documentary yesterday. Him and Malcolm X were real friends. But Elijah Muhammad divided them along with the FBI. And many of the people in the Muslim group today know that's what happened. Because Malcolm really wanted to do right. But the devil always comes in there. He had the right ideals, but he didn't have the true word of God. He had the zeal for God, but not the knowledge of God. It's a difference in having the zeal. See, what you seen, you thought he had the zeal for God. But he would worship a rock. A rock is a rock. Allah is a rock. Go to Malcolm and walk right there and kiss that rock, get herpes, AIDS, everything else. Millions of people walk right there and kiss the rock. God said, I'm a jealous God. See, you can't have none of that, but even he had the zeal for him, but not the knowledge. A lot of people have the zeal to want to do right, but don't have the knowledge of God. And they go out there and they mess it up. It's not our time yet. I know we want it to be, but people, you got to wake up and see what's going on around you. When I read Ezekiel, man, Ezekiel ain't no joke. He telling what shall happen. We got to go through some stuff. We in the famine right now. Guess what? I listen to Black Internet, Black News. I think it's 104.1. I listen to Black News. They're not telling you it's more black people that went into poverty since a certain time. I forgot what time it was. A certain period of time. Well, we know that for sure because you live in the project home, you live in the ghetto, and the only time you get a meal is when you go to school. See, but certain things that happen to us, but by you not being know your surroundings, you think everybody fine. See, but God said, what did he say? He said, be a watchman. You got to watch the news, you got to watch the TV, you got to watch everything. You got to read all this stuff because all this stuff happening around you is in the Bible. So if you just stay on TikTok, stay on Facebook, stay on Instagram, not looking at the news part of it, it'll slide right by you. You won't know your neighbor's starving. You won't know that your neighbors you only know your neighbor dead because you're so busy like this here. You're going to get a neck spur for having your head down so much, but you don't know that. Our kids are failing in school. TikTok, Facebook is overwhelming them. Too much stuff going on in the home. We got 12-year-old kids on a high-speed chase from the police, 12 years old. I seen the little boy. He looked like 12 years old. You know how you get some kids that 12 look like they're 15, 16? He looked like he's 10. He got killed. And they stole a car and on a police chase 100 and something miles. Doing 100 something miles per hour. God said our kids are our oppressors. God said they are on the corners like a bull in a net. Our youth is oppressing us because the stuff that they are doing, school, out in the street, in the store, everything. They just right here in Jacksonville, down at the Hyatt Hotel, downtown, shot a boy in the head. That's 3 lives gone. 1 dead, and the other 2 finna go to prison for life and not get death sentence. But guess what? You can kill a black man, almost guaranteed not to get a death sentence. Kill somebody white. She wants you to get the death sentence. She wants you to get life in prison. Kill somebody white. Ice them boys, Central Park 5. Want Donald Trump in it. Ice anybody who killed somebody white. Even if it was self-defense, they're going to try to make it seem like you're wrong. You kill somebody white, you get life in prison, or you getting that needle, some kind of injection or something to kill you. A black life don't have no kind of value. You can kill a black person. If you got the right law, you'll get out. They don't care nothing about you. You can see that. Ain't nothing I'm making up. Check this out. We done tried segregation. We should have never said we should have stayed separate from them. We should have never integrated with them. Now our kids are dummies. You heard me, they are dummies because we learning in a system that is preparing our kids for prison. The stuff they teach our kids, if they don't go get a second learning, they won't know nothing because they're not teaching our kids right in school. You basically, they when we was there, they had did a study. We were better off in segregation rather than integration. But we want to be around them so bad that we're willing to die so we can eat at the master's table. We wanted to have our own, we had our own stores, had our own restaurant, owned our own business. But guess what? We wanted to be with them so bad that we went in a restaurant. They called it the axe handle murder right here in Jacksonville. They showed clips of it. They beat them people with axe handles. Bloody. We rather do all that than to have on. But guess what now? Guess what now? Now, you want segregation. You want to lead them now because we tried all this stuff. We tried. Ain't none of it worked. Okay, what we do? We go here, we go there. We don't have all kind of leaders. None of them leaders have led us to the promised land. Because God said that no man shall buy you. That means redeem you. I don't care who you get, what woman, what man, what famous preacher you love. You're going to be here until the Most High come back. You're going to go through this trial and tribulation until the Most High come back. But guess what? It can make it easy on you while you're going through this fight. Because he'll be by your side. We don't try Marcus Garvey. Y'all don't try Bob Marley. Y'all don't try the Cosby Show. You see what happened to him? You see what happened to Bob Marley? Even though Bob Marley is not one of us, because he got a white father. So he considered a white man. He Esau. Like the same girl on Blackish. Why do you think they call that show Blackish? Because guess what? She's not black. She's not so-called Negro. She got a white daddy. So that's why she tries so hard to make herself look black. Don't you see how she do on Instagram? The clothes she wear, try to show her butt, say she got a butt. She want to be black so bad. Well, I'm sorry, she's not. Much as you want to love her, but she got a white father. Bob Marley got a white father, a captain of the Navy. That was his daddy. Elijah Muhammad had a daddy, a white daddy. Last name was Trooper. I looked him up. He was in the military. Louis Farrakhan had a white daddy. See, these people they got a zeal for God, but no knowledge of God. It's a separation. The white people are teaching you that it's a separation. You want your damnness. You will fight your brother. You will kill your mama so you can eat at the master's table. You don't want your own. You had your own, but now you want your own now. Oh, I see him on this. We need our own stove. We need our own national anthem. You had that. But guess what? You followed that Jesus they gave you. You ain't do no reading of the Bible. You had the preacher leave us astray. We had all that, but we lost it all. But guess what? We done tried everything. And you had people that come there trying to help us to do this thing. Well, guess what? None of that worked. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Harriet Tubman. You even had Harriet Tubman brought y'all niggas from slavery to freedom. Guess what you do? You go right over there act like a damn jackass. She brought you from freedom. She said she brought 700 people and made them free, so-called. But guess what? You get there and you get by God. You know how we do. God, please help me. I promise you I won't do that no more, dear Lord. Please help me. He gets you out there, you go right by it. Next time, God, please, I won't do it no more. Please help me, God. You go right by it. That's what we did. That's what we continue to do. That's why you in this situation you in now. We ain't coming out of here. Death is surrounding you. Every morning, every 10, 15 minutes. If the news, you can go, news on 24 hours a day now. you see atrocities all about us. So I had to go watch. I watched a movie called Exodus. So I got my Bible out. I was off yesterday. So I got my Bible out and I went along with the movie, reading Exodus. That movie Exodus. First I said, oh, that movie is way off, but that movie it's about on. They're using white people in the movie. But it was us being the so-called Negroes, and the Pharaoh was the Egyptian. There was the Ethiopians. They were us in slavery. All them plagues came. You got to read the Bible when you watch stuff like that. Go back and read the Bible. The Bible gonna give you great detail. All them 10 plagues came. Right now today, we're going through them 10 plagues. Rivers turning red like blood. You got pestilence so bad they eating the animals. You had the rodents, the flies was in there. You had, when the lights went out, the earth had darkened. They had that solar flare that did that. You had everything that the Bible said. You had the frogs. You had where people getting boils on their skin. You had where the locusts were eating all the food. All this happening right now today. These are the 10 plagues. He's saying, let my people go. God telling Esau to let us go so we can serve our God. Guess what? He put the blood on the post. The death angel went by. It killed all the firstborn, even the animal firstborn. It killed Pharaoh firstborn. And guess what? People ain't pay attention to it. He said, even the Hebrews that did not, the servants that was Hebrew that did not put that blood on their post, they died. So you're going to be a lot of us going to die, whether you believe it or not. Because none of y'all believe what just says the Bible says. Y'all don't throw the Bible out right now. Christians don't believe nothing the Bible says. You can't show me a Christian that believe the Bible right now. You can't show me nobody in church that believe what the Bible says. They will change that Bible around to fit them. Nobody in church right now today believe the Bible because guess what? They've been taught by their pastor. You 50, 60 years old, you ain't going to change. God got to take you on out of here because you ain't going to change. You've been doing that since you were 12 years old. They've been teaching you that lie since you were 12. You ain't going to tell you that white Jesus that's hanging over your door ain't the real Jesus you've been praying to. But you think because you get a little mercy and grace, because guess what? God said, even those who I have not known, or even those who have not known me, that means you have not known the law, statutes, commandment, I still bless you. That's how good and merciful God we got. He still bless you. You don't know it, but that's not the end. But anyway, we have came to that, and we have used everybody, and we use all these different things, and none of them work. Christianity definitely ain't working. Christianity is what they teach you in church. The Bible is law, statutes, commandments. It's your history book. It's your future. It's going to save your life. But guess what? If you don't learn and study this Bible, we're going to be in trouble. We as a nation of people. God waiting on us. We ain't waiting on God. I want you to go to Genesis 15, 13 through 14. Check this out. And the Lord said unto Abram, this before Abraham got his name changed. And he said unto Abram, know of surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. The seed, he's talking about us, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the so-called Negro of the 12 tribes. We the seed. He said, your seed gonna go into the land because guess what? We come out of Jerusalem. So he said, you're going to go to a land you have not known. Not even they didn't know it. We over here in North America, we came through slave ships. We're going to be serving. It's over 400 years we've been in slavery. God waiting on us. We're not waiting on God. God waiting to come here and change things around. But check this out. And also, that nation, they shall serve, the nation that we serving right now today, our judge, and afterwards shall there come out with great substance. God's going to judge the mother nation for the way they treating us. So if you want to be on the other end and come out with great substance, when the Most High come back, you better start studying this Bible and find out who you are in this Bible. You think the preacher gonna teach you this because guess what? It's too much knowledge. They got to keep you on Days of My Life, As the World Turns, Young and the Restless. They got to keep you on that kind of mentality. They're not telling you that you're gonna be a slave for 400 years. You'll see Abraham seed. You are the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So you would never know that because you don't know who you are in the Bible. So you need to know what's happening to you and why all this stuff seems like it's happening to you. Why? Don't try to question why are young kids dying? Why are we number one in heart attacks? Why are we number one in blood clots? Why are we number one in the gout? Why are we number one in cholesterol? Don't you want to know them things? Why we were number one in cancer? Why are we the number one in every kind of disease known to man? Why are we number one? Because we disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments. God said He gonna judge them people for treating us this way. But guess what? That's when He comes. Don't you want to live a comfortable life going out? I ain't talking about you rest of you niggas who think you got a house and a car, you doing fine. The majority of our people struggling. You're a 0.%. You're a 0.1, not even a full, you barely over a 0, a 0.1% that's successful out of all the Hebrew Israelites. The rest of them living under the bridges. Then you see did y'all see the news? Where them Haitians was coming across on that little boat. It was 90 of them on that boat. And the Coast Guard had to go get them. Normally, they would ship them back. But Biden signed some kind of thing saying they're allowed to come. But you know the Haitian or Cuban can come over here and stay. You remember them Haitians used to come here on the boat, they used to ship them back. I don't know what they're going to do to them now, but guess what? Everybody's trying to flee. See, because guess what? Them Haitians, which is they're from the tribe of Levi, they got to come back to the Most High. They doing some stuff over there they ain't got no business doing. They selling out their own children. Same thing. They selling their children to the missionaries that come over there. They take them kids, they sell it to them. See, but they ain't telling you the whole story. Why do you think Bill Clinton? Okay, that's too much. I ain't gonna get into that. But check this out. Lord said that He gonna get them other nations from the way I'm gonna read it. And also the nation whom they shall serve, we are today. We serving them. You see that right now. We don't own nothing. Even the people who got nice house, nice car, you don't own that. Them people come take you right now. They can have a football player. Fred Taylor. The boy that came out of Miami. They broke now. Because God can take your money from you just like that. You have $50 million. You know what you'll say? Oh, that was a fool with their money. Now that's God showing you who He is. So ain't none of your stuff is yours. It's you borrowing everything you got. Until you borrow this until they come take it from you. They can take it from you anytime you get ready. You could be an executive, you could be a lawyer, they break you down in 30 seconds where you ain't got nothing. So you boss don't never get to think that God won't take His mercy away from you. So never forget where you come from. But God said that, and also that nation whom they shall serve, we serving them, we are judge. God gonna judge them nation. And afterwards shall they come out with great substance. Afterwards is us. After God judged them, bring us out of it, great substance. Because guess what? You got to remember when you read the book of Exodus, when they left, the Pharaoh gave them gold, silver. They had everything. How you think they built? How you think when Moses went up to the mountain to get the tablet? When he came back, they had them made gold calf. Where do you think they get that gold from? They left with great substance. God saying when the same way God judged them and they left out, they had great. God gonna judge them nations, and we're gonna come out with great substance. We're gonna be on top. That's what God's saying. But check it out. Go to something else. Go to 2 Chronicles. Second Chronicles 7:14. This is what God's saying. We done tried violence. We done tried nonviolence. We done tried cultural pride. We done tried militants. We done tried marching. We done tried protesting. We done tried segregation. We done tried integration. We done tried Christianity. And this is what the Most High say to you. After you done tried all that. If my people, which are called by my name, God said, if my people, which are called by his name, my people, which are called by God's name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. There's no more else to be said after that. We done tried everything. Try Yahawshi. Try the law, statutes, and commandments, not Christianity. Shalom, my people. Shalom, I love you. I promise I do. I love you. Shalom.